For half a century, the moon sat as a museum piece. We left our footprints in 1972, packed up our gear, and viewed the lunar surface as a finished chapter of the Cold War. With the crew of Artemis II safely back on Earth, the mission profile has pivoted. The goal is no longer a historic flyby, but the establishment of a continuous, functional presence on the surface. Deep beneath that gray regolith lies a payload of raw materials. Current geological estimates value these buried resources at approximately $16 quadrillion. This shift has transitioned the lunar surface into the solar system's most high-stakes financial frontier. This orbital map shows the lunar South Pole. Down inside these permanently shadowed regions, craters that haven't seen sunlight in billions of years are massive deposits of water ice. In deep space, water serves as a critical industrial asset. By applying an electrical current and splaying it apart, you generate the hydrogen and oxygen needed to manufacture rocket fuel. The second major prize is helium-3, a non-radioactive isotope trapped in the lunar soil. While nearly non-existent on Earth, it is a primary candidate for powering future nuclear fusion reactors. Current market projections value it at roughly $4 billion per ton. Finally, the moon contains the rare Earth elements required for everything from EV batteries to smart missiles. Because China currently controls about 90% of the terrestrial supply, lunar extraction has become an existential necessity for Western energy and defense sectors. Controlling these three resources provides the strategic foundation for the entire transportation and energy grid of the inner solar system. The drive to secure these deposits has split the globe into two primary geopolitical alliances. The US-led Artemis coalition relies on a 60-nation partnership. By outsourcing the logistics and trucking to private partners, NASA aims to build an orbital station and a permanent South Pole base by the end of the decade. On the other side is the International Lunar Research Station, led by China. They are currently sprinting toward an aggressive 2028 deadline to have a fully functional robotic base active on the lunar surface. This strategic pivot focuses on the deployment of competing, long-term infrastructures rather than symbolic flag planting. While national governments are busy staking their territorial claims, it is private corporations that are actually manufacturing the heavy-duty extraction hardware. SpaceX is positioning its Starship platform as the railroad of this rush. By designing for massive cargo capacity, they aim to cut the cost of moving industrial equipment to the moon by 90%. Startups like Interloon are focusing on the commodities market. They have already secured $500 million in purchase orders for helium-3 to serve the quantum computing and energy sectors. To handle the actual movement of materials, Astrolab is developing the Flex rover, a modular moon truck capable of carrying heavy mining drills across the craters. The shift toward private lunar transport means the industrialization of the moon is being actively built in factories today, rather than existing as a distant theoretical goal. The combination of private mining machinery and national rivalries is currently on a collision course with outdated international law. Under the 1967 Outer Space Treaty, no single nation can claim sovereign ownership of the moon or any part of its surface. The Artemis Accords establish safety zones. You don't own the land, but you can protect commercial operations. This creates an immediate problem at Shackleton Crater. China's 2026 mission targets the same narrow rim of ice and sunlight. Overlapping zones here will inevitably clash. We are watching a territorial land grab happen in real time on a world that has no courtrooms to resolve the disputes. In the short term, SpaceX is a guaranteed winner. They control the primary logistics pipeline, and regardless of who lands first, they will likely be the ones charging for the ride. China could win the battle for real estate. If their robotic systems secure the prime sunlit crater rims first, they gain the power to dictate the rules on the ground.